Hi everyone, it's Justine. Creative blocks are a big fear of creative people. If you ever felt like your brain was stuck, like you weren't creatively productive anymore, that you were not able to get an idea when you needed one, then keep watching. This video is for you. I will be talking about understanding why you're having a block right now. Second, how to break that vicious circle and get out of it and get back into a creative and positive routine. And third, how to create a positive environment for yourself in the long run so that you prevent creative blocks before they even happen. First, you want to understand why you're feeling stuck. There are two main reasons for that. The first one is that you just work too much. You pushed yourself and you're just tired. And that is human. It's your body basically telling you, give me a break. And it's a signal that you need to take seriously. The second reason is that something you're doing or the way you're doing it, the process of which you're working with, doesn't suit you. And it can be, for instance, that you have several projects to juggle with at the same time when you actually feel better and more comfortable having just one project you need to focus on. Another reason is that you have small to-dos stapling up on the side and they're like short-circuiting your brain, parasiting you from focusing on your actual project. Or you're under constant time pressure when you know you actually work better ahead of time and having more time. Another reason is that you might be getting too much input. If you guys own a smartphone, if you're active on social media, if you read the news regularly, then you're really likely to be in that situation where you just get way too much input from the outside world. And in that case, you really need to filter actively what you want your brain to deal with and just ditch the rest completely and without pity. Once you've understood why you're having a block right now and where it's coming from, you need to stop the downward spiral immediately. You need to get out of the vicious circle, mentally and physically. If you have been having your head in the grindstone for too long, in French we say having one's head in the handlebars, like riding a bike, then look up, look to the left, look to the right, become aware again of everything that's around you, the outside world, everything you've been ignoring because you were too focused on just one thing. Okay, so just take a break, leave your desk, get out, do something that you're not used to doing usually, or do something that you really like to do. Personally, I have such a mental list of things, little pleasures, simple things that I really like to do. That includes walking barefoot on the grass, sunbathing for 15 minutes on a chair in the sun without doing anything. I'm not calling anyone, I'm not reading anything, I'm just like that. Tanking in vitamin D. And that's okay, right? You can do nothing sometimes, it's really good for you. My list also includes making snowballs if it's winter, taking a bath with essential oils, opening the aluminium foil of Nutella with my fingernail. I hope I'm not the only one doing it. Anyhow, whatever works for you should be on your list. And guys, if you think I don't have time to write a list like that this week, then that's when you really need the list. Write your list. Now, let's say you've taken your break, you've done something silly / funny / pleasurable / you've done nothing. You just took your break. You're feeling better. You shouldn't go back to work exactly the way you were doing it before, or else you'll fall back into that routine and that vicious circle, or better said, the hamster wheel where you spin and you don't even remember why. You need to change something. So have a look at your workspace. Do you like it? Is it organized in a way that works for you? Or do you keep losing your materials? You're always looking for stuff when you're in the middle of the process. You don't like the lighting, you realize it's way too dark in here. Have an outside look at your workspace and change what doesn't suit you. If you find it boring, add flowers. If you're missing light, go buy a lamp. If you're always losing your tools, I had a time when I was using my fashion design rulers all the time. I got a box. Now they're all in one place. I guess what I'm trying to say is make sure that you're not looking for your things all the time. Make sure that you like the room and the space you're working in because you're spending a lot of time in there. Once you're relaxed, you've modified your workspace in a way that fits you better, now you need to help your brain start again, so to say. So you can just start slowly on a corner of a piece of paper and draw something small, or you take a little piece of fabric and you sew it in funny ways. What I'm saying is, start with something that's meaningless. Don't go straight to that huge white canvas and say, okay, now let's get this masterpiece done and let's get it over with. Because fear of the white page, it might be overwhelming, and then you'll feel blocked again. So do something that really doesn't matter. Follow intuition. Do something that you just want to do. If you like color pencils, grab them, do something with them. Then look at the results, wonder what it makes you think of, draw something else, think about what you could do with that, and maybe at some point, without even noticing, you might start to feel ready to tackle that masterpiece after all. Or maybe not. And then that's okay. You can just try again tomorrow. Now we are coming to my last big point, which was about creating a positive environment around yourself so that the creative blocks don't happen in the first place. And here are things that help me personally that I really find helpful. First one, start ahead of a deadline. I know I'm a concept person. Once I have the concept, I can execute into a collection and design the pieces pretty straightforwardly, and I can work long hours. So I know I'll get it done. The problem is if I don't have the concept and I see the deadline coming, I get really stressed out. So I always start super early and then I don't get in trouble. My next trick is that I try to never come in that situation where I have to be creative, because I know that doesn't always work. Creativity is not like on command, right? Creative people know that, and the others think if you just put pressure, it's gonna work. But no, not really. So to avoid that, I keep a kind of creative diary. It's like a notebook where I write things I see, learn, hear, think, sometimes with pictures, sometimes with drawing. I do it completely without rules and without timeline. Like I don't have to do it every day. I do it when I feel like it. I make sure I do it sometimes during the week, but that's the only principle, so to say. Otherwise it would become a to-do as well, and we don't want that. And so when I need an idea, I don't have to start from scratch and stand in front of that scary big white page. I just take my notebook, flip through the pages, and it gives me ideas. Next tip, really easy one, sports. Dopamine is that thing that your body produces when you do sports, and it makes your brain think it's happy. That's super helpful. So sports gives you a very good basis. It makes you physically tired, you sleep better at night, you recover better. It improves concentration skills. It gives you a physical balance that really fosters a well-functioning brain. And if you want to do it right, don't skip sports, build fixed slots into your week and stick with them. It's so helpful. Personally, I find spinning or yoga very helpful, because on both sports, you really have to focus on what you're doing. And so while you're focusing on that, you're completely forgetting about the work that's waiting for you at home. And that's like a master break. My next point, smartphones. Okay, they're extremely helpful, useful, no question. But why don't you just leave your smartphone at home sometimes and get out without it in your pocket? You don't need to be reachable anytime, any place. It's rarely true, right? Or when you're working at home, just leave your phone in another room. I never feel more relaxed than when I'm traveling abroad and I open my cell phone and I'm like, zero coverage. That's proper holiday, right? Now comes the point that I personally find to be the hardest on the long run, and that's to be tolerant and forgiving with yourself. Creativity is not like building PowerPoint presentations. I know, because I've been there. I've built a ton of PowerPoints. Creativity just doesn't work like that. Sometimes you're gonna have a good day, and lucky you. Sometimes you're gonna have an okay day. Sometimes you're just gonna have a bad day. Oh well, shit happens. So it doesn't mean that you should stay in bed all day, put your pillow on your head and feel depressed and hate the external world. But you can, for instance, turn a bad day into an inspiration day. You can open books in the library that you haven't read in a while. You can watch an old movie. You can go to a museum. You can draw meaningless stuff in your notebook, in your diary. Explore new artists on Spotify. Whatever works for you, will do. I guess what I'm trying to say is, don't force your brain, work with it. That makes sense? I think I'm gonna end this video on that profound statement. I hope you found this video useful. Thumb up if you did. And at this point, I'd like to thank those of you who wrote to me to ask for this topic. It was more than one person. It was several of you. I don't know if you guys want to be quoted, so I won't tell your name, but I really want to thank you for letting me know what you're interested in. Because in the end, I think that's what this channel should be for. If you're new here and it's the first one of my videos that you're watching, don't forget to subscribe and leave me a comment so that I know what you guys want to see. Here are 2 videos that you can watch now if you want more. The first one is on the topic of fast fashion, what it means and how to avoid it if you wish to. The second one kind of follows the first one. It's about where and how to find sustainable, ethical, fair fashion. So if you want to watch both, I suggest you start with the top one. I see you next Sunday for a new video. I upload every Sunday. And until then, just take it easy. Bye.